crowds. Follow along with the cheerleaders, help them back the Hoosiers as we do so well every time.
Last Tuesday night, Indiana took Purdue to overtime before finally falling 83-76. Alan Henderson and Glenn Robinson matched in a classic battle. Tonight, Indiana tries to remain atop the Big Ten standings by taking on the Northwestern Wildcats.
Productions, in association with Raycom Sports, presents Big Ten Conference Basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance and the more than 600 Farm Bureau Insurance agents throughout Indiana. By your local 76 dealers, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. And by Edie's Grand Ice Cream, America's finest premium ice cream, made in Indiana with Hoosier pride.
We are live from the Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, as the Northwestern Wildcats at 9-4 take on the Indiana Hoosiers 10-3 as the Hoosiers come on the floor. Hello everybody, John Laskowski and Ted Kitchell ready to bring the action. We've also got some help. Sean Morris, former Northwestern great, is here with us tonight. This could be a battle of the big guys inside. Kevin Rankin, 6'11" for Northwestern.
Absolutely, Kevin Rankin is really the key for this Northwestern squad. They really look to him for leadership on both ends of the floor, John. He's been struggling with the pneumonia here with a little bit, but we'll see some action from an earlier game. He has the ability at 6'11" to put the ball on the floor and create things. He can go either right or left, very strong on the glass. They really need him to step up and perform here this evening because he's been struggling, as I said, with pneumonia. He should be back at full strength, and Todd Lindeman has been really playing well for the Hoosiers.
And Ted Kitchell, Todd Lindeman had a great game, a career game against Purdue. He'll be matched up with Rankin.
Todd Lindeman really gaining a lot of confidence against Iowa. He played very well, and then he did come back against Purdue, had a very, very big game. The guys are starting to get more confidence in Todd. You can see he gets the ball down low on the block, goes right up and dunks it. He's not only getting more confidence in himself, but the team is gaining confidence, and because of it, he's playing much better.
Time now for the Cocoline Fueling Factors.
Well, for Northwestern rebounding, coming into this game in Big Ten action, they're being out-rebounded 41-27 on average. They really have to improve that statistic if they have any chance here this evening. And we mentioned Kevin Rankin before. We need to establish, Northwestern needs to establish an inside game, create a presence to open up the three-point perimeter shooting for Todd Leslie and others.
And for Indiana, he talks about an inside game. For Indiana, it's most important for post defense. Todd Lindeman must get a body on Kevin Rankin every time down the floor and keep him out of the low post. Also turnovers, especially first half turnovers, has really plagued Indiana. They're averaging 20 turnovers for the year. Must handle the ball much better.
Take advantage of this month's special. Cocoline 10W30 or 10W40 motor oil is only 77 cents with the purchase of 8 gallons or more of any quality Cocoline fuel. Cocoline, where over 50 years of family pride makes a difference. And we'll be back with the starting lineups in tonight's ball game after these messages.
Honey, I'm home. You still on that couch? It's a beautiful day out there. Why don't you take Daisy for a walk? Fresh air will do you good. I'll make lunch while you're out. By the way, I picked up some Edie's cookies and cream.
Yes! Edie's. Evidently, it's not your normal ice cream.
Around here, it just seems natural for people to sit down around a table to work things out. To talk about whether to buy that new house. About how to get enough money to get the kids to college. To talk about retirement. Big stuff. important stuff. At NBD, our table comes with solid financial advice. Come see us, because at NBD, we help people work things out every day.
Good evening. Indiana University welcomes you to the Assembly Hall and this evening's Big Ten Conference game. Let's meet the starting lineup. And the forward for Northwestern is 6'6" junior from Santa Barbara, California. Number 3.
Before the Papa John's read. And then we do the Papa John's read. Okay.
Number 34, Brian Evans.
Northwestern Indiana will meet shortly. Let's take a look now at the Papa John's starting lineups.
Take a look at the starting lineups. You can see Evans, Henderson, pretty much the same for Indiana. Wilkerson continues to start. The key matchup will probably be, as we mentioned in the opening, Rankin and Lindeman. Rankin, big, strong, and when Coach Knight talks about Kevin Rankin, he always uses the word smart. He's very smart, uses his body very well. Look for him to play very, very well.
There's the two coaches. First-year coach Ricky Birdsong, former played at Iowa State. He's been to Detroit Mercy, also an assistant coach at Arizona with Lute Olson, and he'll be on the bench for Northwestern tonight. Papa John's has the perfect pizza at the perfect price. Why not shoot for the best while getting slam dunk savings? Call now and your pizza will be the halftime entertainment. And we'll be back with the tip-off of tonight's ball game after these messages.
Fight for the cream and crimson, for the glory of old IU. Ever daunted, we cannot falter in the battle we're tried and true. Indiana, Indiana.
Martha, you're back.
Indiana, we're all for you.
Another Indiana legend, brought to you with pride by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Northwestern, number 8, Indiana. Indiana trying to secure a spot there in the top of the league. There you look at the series. Indiana's had control here, winning the last 11. And Sean Morris, you played here. Indiana's won 21 straight games against Northwestern here. What's it like coming into Assembly Hall?
Well, I'll put it to you real succinctly. It's like falling into a piranha tank with a stake tied to your rear end. They have no mercy. Hoosier hospitality ceases once the opponent steps on the floor. But this is a very tough place to play and a great home court advantage for the Indiana Hoosiers.
And Kitch, I thought you were a nice guy. Look how he's talking about us.
I was a nice guy. I always patted him on the butt after the game.
Tom Rucker, Ron Grissom, Sid Rodeheffer, your Big Ten officials. We're underway. Indiana controls the tap, and right away, Rodeheffer with the call, and that foul goes against Baldwin. 3 seconds into the game, the first foul. Bailey will inbound. Defensively from Northwestern, Sean, what can we expect today?
Well, they really need to fight through the screens that Indiana is so famous for. They need to bump the cutter right there. They don't do a good job of it.
Northwestern's open man-to-man. Bailey misses on the shot. Lindeman again aggressive, Ted. He gets called for the goaltend.
Yeah, it's you hate to see him get called for that, but I think it's good to see his aggressiveness, especially early in the game. It's nice to see him up on the offensive board.
There's Rankin, 55 for Northwestern. Baldwin is 23. Kirkpatrick is 30. He's a good shooter from the outside, about 14 points a game. Leslie, number 14, is a real good three-point shooter. He hasn't touched the ball yet, out of bounds to Northwestern. As far as the defense, Sean, is it zone, man-to-man for Northwestern?
Almost strictly man-to-man. If they do go zone, it'll be a little bit of a matchup, but a lot of man-to-man principles. Coach Birdsong has really brought in the idea of individual responsibility for stopping your opponent.
Of course, Indiana will go man-to-man. Shot clock down to 7. Good pass inside. Kirkpatrick falls away and gets 2 for Northwestern.
That looked like a sequence that you would have seen by Northwestern in the preseason. Crisp ball movement, people moving without the ball, someone willing to make the extra pass to create a scoring opportunity for a teammate.
The Wildcats have the early lead. Here's Bailey coming off a season low, only 11 points against Purdue. Wilkerson tries it outside, and Henderson there for the board. No stopping that one.
Alan Henderson, nice job. That's usually the toughest rebound. Luckily, he was on the other side of the goal. As Indiana creates a turnover, Todd Lindeman picks it up, and he was able to pick it up and dunk it back in the basket.
Score tied. Wilkerson with good pressure there. Turnover. Indiana has it out front. Lindeman not looking for that pass. A little steam on that one, too, by Wilkerson.
Not a very good pass by Sharon Wilkerson. He never caught eye contact with Todd Lindeman. He expected him to turn. You can't expect people to do anything. Todd was looking for a good back screen for Damon Bailey. Sharon Wilkerson's got to read that if he's going to run the offense.
Baldwin goes to Kirkpatrick. Indiana switching on some screens. Good back pick there as Rankin gets the ball on the baseline. Baldwin set that up with a nice back pick.
Nice back pick. Almost a little bit too much keeping the ball on one side right there, John. Not a lot of ball reversal, but Kevin Rankin bailed him out with a baseline jump shot.
And Indiana will try to do that, keep the ball on one side of the floor. Here's Henderson, a turn, and he gets the nice touch there. He's got 4.
There's a matchup I would really look for Indiana to try to capitalize on early. Matt Purdy, although he's very tough, really comes in and plays hard-nosed. He does give up 3 or 4 inches to Alan Henderson in the block.
Another turnover for the Wildcats. Bailey's got it. On the dribble, trying to get to the lane. Fades away. It's off. Battle on the boards, and Evans, also a good rebounder. Leslie fights the ball away from him. 2.5 minutes into the game, tied at 4. Rankin outside. Good fake there by Kirkpatrick. Evans with the steal. And that's the 3rd Wildcat turnover.
And once again, keeping the ball on the right side of the floor, not making the defense work by working it from side to side. It's very easy to guard the ball once it stays on one side of the floor.
You're right, that's a tough matchup. Purdy 6'6", 225, Sean, and we've got Henderson at 6'9", 219.
It's going to be very difficult for Matt Purdy to try to guard Alan Henderson down on the block. Damon Bailey, being a smart player as he has, come down solid inside, took advantage of it right away. They're going to have to continue to get it inside. They're either going to get good shots or they're going to get Matt Purdy in foul trouble.
They go down again. Evans with the feed and the leaner, and tipped again that time. It was both Henderson and Lindeman there.
That's what we talked about at the top of the show, John. The necessity for Northwestern to really control the boards. That's the second tip back for Indiana. And once it's tough enough to stop Indiana one time, but giving them 2 or 3 shots is not a good way to get off to a good start.
And Lindeman gets credit with that tip in, his first 2 points. Northwestern on the outside. It looks like a high offense. Trying to take away Indiana's help inside, Sean?
Trying to take away and spread the defense a little bit.
Travel that time by Rankin outside. Turnovers hurting, but Ted, a lot of that's got to do with Indiana's pressure too.
Indiana going to put a lot of pressure, especially on the perimeter against Northwestern. Northwestern has a number of good 3-point shooters, especially good spot-up shooters. They don't like to move with it off the dribble. And in the scouting report, Indiana will put a lot of pressure out on the perimeter.
And your Cocaline factor, Ted, only 1 early turnover here for Indiana. Wilkerson looked open there. They go to Bailey outside. He's short. Tapped there by Lindeman. Wilkerson for 3. Lindeman again the board. And good steal there as Lindeman tried to dribble. Rankin able to make the steal.
But once again, 3 scoring opportunities for Indiana. Northwestern cannot afford to give up that many chances at the basket.
Leslie seemed to want that shot. Purdy will take it. It's off. And the battle inside with the big guys. Comes up a draw, and Purdy has the loose ball. Baldwin outside. Kirkpatrick. Henderson falls. Good
nice pass. That was a beautiful pass right there by Patrick Baldwin. Something that when he was out 2 years ago, Northwestern simply did not have someone to break down the defenses. We'll see coming up right here. Nice cut, nice movement without the basketball. Does not put the ball on the floor. Nice little flip pass. And right there, that's where you may see a little bit of the strength factor in losing 15 to 20 pounds. I think Kevin Rankin might like to have that chance back to finish it up and make it a possibility for a 3-point play.
Now this is interesting. Why does Northwestern not have anybody in the line there, Sean?
This is something that Coach Birdsong brought with him from the University of Arizona. Once again, we talked about this in the pregame show a little bit. He has really come in and tried to instill a different mindset with his players. He's really putting pressure on the foul shooter to make the shot, instilling some confidence that they are going to make it. And his feeling is that they run enough. You ask them to do a lot more physically. This is a chance for them to rest. They will be on the line, however, towards the end of the game when they absolutely need a second chance basket.
Rankin is 1 of 2, Ted.
The way we rebound off of free throws, I think I'm glad to see him standing in the backcourt.
There's a big one at Purdue. That's that Jennings tapped back in.
He didn't just tap it, he threw it back in.
Bailey into Henderson. Dewey Williams in the lineup, and Henderson goes to his left over Williams for 2 more.
I think you'll see a lot of three-point opportunities open up for Indiana. If they continue to pound it down inside, they're going to have to continue to go back on Alan Henderson. That'll open up the outside for Indiana.
Patrick guarded by Evans. Here's Leslie, left-handed, and Wilkerson must favor that side. Wilkerson slaps that ball out. We've got a timeout. 15:06 left in the game. Indiana leads 8-5. We'll be back after these messages.
Man, what are these old timers doing on my court?
Man, where you going?
Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, Grandma could have made that shot with a blindfold on.
Looks like we don't need an ambulance.
Hey, maybe even 2.
Woodson, McGinnis, Seasting, Dampier, Boozy, Plump. 6 Indiana basketball legends brought to you with pride by Farm Bureau Insurance.
I don't even think Grandma could have hit that shot.
Hey! You guys looking for a game?
Yeah!
When you play Lucky 5 from the Hoosier Lottery, there's 2 plays for $1, 2 drawings a week, and a top prize of $50,000. And while it's not like you can drop everything and sail away, it is $50,000.
Charlie, sit down!
Lucky 5 from the Hoosier Lottery. $50,000 may not change your life, but it can sure make your day.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated. It is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express prior written consent of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated is prohibited. We're back into action. Northwestern in quickly. Kirkpatrick outside is off, and Steve Hart in the lineup for Indiana comes down with his first rebound. Here's Bailey. Mandeville is also in the lineup. Richard Mandeville for Lindemann. Wilkerson outside. Look at Hart leaping for the rebound. Bailey's pass, and Henderson gets it blocked. I tell you, some serious action inside in today's ball game.
Great pass by Damon Bailey, able to pick Alan Henderson out inside, but good recovery by Kevin Rankin. I think that he could have gotten it up over Dewey Williams, but Kevin Rankin came over, did a nice job defensively slapping that ball away.
There's Indiana's freshman backcourt. A pretty good start for the 2 youngsters. Hart from Terre Haute, Wilkerson from Jeffersonville. Here comes Northwestern. Williams inside, comes back outside. This is Baldwin. Here's Rankin, good double team by Wilkerson. Pass through the baseline, deflected by Henderson.
We took a look at the 2 freshmen, and Hart was getting a lot of minutes early in the season. His minutes have gone down a little bit. You can see both their minutes were about the same, but Sharon Wilkerson has played a lot of late, and I think Coach Knight, from the looks of things tonight, is talking to Sharon about shooting the basketball more. He's already taken 3 shots tonight.
Cedric Nellum's in the lineup as Rankin sits, so a small lineup now for the Wildcats. Nellum's, however, always been a problem for Indiana, and there's a great shot. That's Leslie outside.
And that's what Northwestern has to do. That was set up by the dribble penetration. The defense must react. Todd Leslie has the opportunity to spot up, and he drains it.
Indiana crowd restless now, 8-8. 14 minutes left, first half. Henderson again trying to post up. Again, Nellum's at a size disadvantage, and right to the hoop for Henderson.
Nice drop step move right there by Alan Henderson. He's just punishing him in the block right now.
8 first half points. Go ahead, Ted.
Excuse me, Laz. Not only using his height inside, but Alan very quick with that first step. as you mentioned, nice drop step inside.
And the confidence from the Purdue game just carries over, Ted?
I think so. Allen has been playing very, very well. You know, you don't even think about his knee anymore, and I'm sure he doesn't either. He's just really played well, especially since the Big Ten season started.
Baldwin ties the score at 10 with a jumper from the baseline. So Northwestern really showing some potent offense here as they tie the score.
Indiana sometimes gets caught up a little bit too much in looking for Damon Bailey. I feel like Sharon Wilkerson and Steve Hart maybe ought to create a little bit on their own. Take a dribble or two, try to get to the basket if at all possible as Sharon Wilkerson throws it away. Good pickup by Cedric Nellum.
And a good defensive sequence right there by the Wildcats. They bumped the Cutters, just kind of threw them off their rhythm right there, threw Indiana out of their rhythm, and they were able to come up with a turnover.
Both teams with turnovers as Kirkpatrick loses it. Pat Knight checks in for Indiana, and Purdy checks back in. Matt Purdy for Northwestern. There's Pat. So Indiana goes with Richard Mandeville. Bailey on the bench there next to Dan Dockich. Henderson has played the whole game. Pat Knight, and then Hart and Wilkerson at the guards. For Northwestern, Dewey Williams, Purdy, Kirkpatrick, Cedric Nellums, and Baldwin. Motion inside for Indiana. Henderson again with a size advantage, as well as Mandeville, guarded by, if you will, the smaller Dewey Williams. Only 6'9", whistle stops play. And a foul.
Very good pass by Pat Knight, able to thread the needle right there. Steve Hart able to come up with it. That's one I'm sure he'd like to have over. Going to take a look at it. He cuts down the lane, and there's not much room in there, but Pat Knight finds him. You can see when you turn your back defensively, it really hurts. Able to get it in there. Steve Hart, that's one that he really didn't get hit much up high. That's one he ought to get in the basket. During tonight's game, we'll be mentioning some of the environmental benefits of soybean products. And with every foul shot made by the Hoosiers, Indiana's 40,000 soybean farmers will make a contribution to Gleaner's statewide food bank.
He is long on the second, chases the rebound down, and tips it away. So Hart 1 of 2 gives Indiana lead, 12:27 left.
Well, Northwestern on this possession, they're really going to need to spread the floor. Maybe look for a back door, try to set up a back door here. They just don't have the size advantage on the inside perimeter player.
Purdy goes up, a block that time by Lindeman, and Ted, Indiana with 6 blocks per game. That's up from last year's 2.8, more than double. Unbelievable how much Indiana is able to block their shots. Let's watch it.
You can see Northwestern, Purdy does a nice job getting it inside. He has to realize, though, that Todd Lindeman has come over to help. He's already got Alan Henderson on him. When Lindeman comes over to help, he's got to pass that back out to somebody open behind the three-point line.
Good play by Kirkpatrick. He fakes the three-pointer and gets the defense off balance.
That was just a nice play right there. Good head fake. We'll see it coming up right here. It shows, gets the defender lunging, then leans in to draw the body contact, follows through, delivers on the jump shot. Kip Kirkpatrick has really stepped up his game early on in the season. He was shooting a phenomenal percentage, somewhere between 68 and 70%, simply because, and 57% as you see right there is still nothing to sneeze at, but early on he was just playing with a great deal of confidence, and those were not all layups. He was simply catching the ball in rhythm and taking open jump shots.
It's 5 now for Kirkpatrick, and I'll tell you, one of the things I've noticed, Sean, it seems that players have a little different attitude than what we've seen coming here from the Northwestern side.
Absolutely. Coach Birdsong has come in and said, listen, no excuses. I don't want to hear anything. We're going to go out and we're going to play. We have 5 guys. They have 5 guys. Done a fantastic job of changing the mental outlook of these Northwestern players.
Indiana, here's Pat Knight. Henderson really the main clog on offense now. Tries a pass inside. It's deflected away. 3rd turnover for Indiana.
Without Damon Bailey, Pat Graham, or Brian Evans in the game, Indiana really looks sluggish offensively.
Purdy outside for 3 is over the top and out of bounds. We've got a timeout. We'll be back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
This to me. All right. Back at Assembly Hall where Northwestern leads Indiana 13-11. We're going to take a look at the Indiana offense. We talked about people having a problem getting open. You can see Todd Lindemann post here, but then Sharon Wilkerson cuts down on top of him. Everybody's moving, but nobody's really establishing any type of position. Because of that, Indiana not able to get any open shots.
Northwestern leads it by 2. Indiana has the ball, 11:20 left. Henderson's open, just short on that one. Pat Knight deflects it off of Purdy, and Indiana retains possession.
That's a tough break for Northwestern because they did a fantastic job right there screening out 2 Northwestern players, had inside position, just couldn't put it away.
Quick move inside by Wilkerson and up for a quick 2.
And there's what I'm talking about. That time Sharon Wilkerson saw it, he created it. I think when you're playing offensively, you need to not be a robot. You need to be creative and look for openings. That time we saw an opening and he went for it. Nice layup.
Northwestern, good pass inside. There's Nellums. He gets the roll and a foul. Looks like that goes on Lindemann.
Excellent movement without the basketball right there by Cedric Nellums. He slashes to the basket. The defender turns his head. They find him, and then an explosive take to the basket. We'll see it right here. Kip Kirkpatrick, excellent look. No hesitation, takes it right at the 7-footer and finishes strong. Cedric Nellums came in last Saturday versus Michigan State and really gave this Northwestern squad a little bit of an offensive boost.
Well, Todd Lindemann got the foul there, but Steve Hart's the one who fell asleep and got Todd in trouble. That was Steve Hart's man. He's supposed to be able to cover that baseline on that play.
Brian Evans is in for Indiana now, trying to get some more offensive punch, and right away Kirkpatrick realizes it and tries to hold Brian as he cuts inside. Kirkpatrick picks up the foul. Todd Leslie checks back in as Kirkpatrick comes out. Bailey also back in now for Wilkerson. So Indiana does go, Ted, with a little more offense now.
And look for him to get Damon Bailey open. Look for him to probably try to take the ball to the basket if any opportunity presents itself.
And Cedric now is really fighting his tail off over these screens, trying to contain Alan Henderson. They really haven't been able to maximize that mismatch.
You can see they're going to call a foul on Todd Lindemann for pushing off there. But the problem with Indiana offense is it's all bunched up in the lane. They need to spread it out and only have one guy cutting. We're going to take a look at it and take a look at the lane. See, everybody's inside the lane. We got about 3 Indiana players. You can see Todd Lindemann pushes off, but we got about 3 Indiana players. That means 3 Northwestern. 6 guys in there as Leslie takes a jumper. That's too many. Not enough room to make any cuts.
2 fouls now on Lindemann. That shot is short by Leslie. Northwestern leads by 3. Indiana's offense struggling right now. Here's Henderson inside, and a hoop from about 7 feet. Henderson, the only guy for Indiana doing the scoring.
I don't know why Indiana doesn't just come down and continue to post him and continue to go until Northwestern makes a change and starts doubling down on him, because right now they can't handle Allen inside.
Henderson now with 10 points. Eric Simpson, 22 in the lineup at the point now for Northwestern. Here's Cedric Nellums. Here's Simpson outside. Here's Nellums, likes to drive. Gets a crowd around him. And another foul on the drive. Very quick jump, Sean Morris, and that really helps him to get those fouls.
Yeah, he's a very explosive player. Not a great perimeter jump shooter. Part of his game he's tried to improve. More of a slashing type player. Likes to put the ball on the floor and create scoring opportunities around the rim. Very quick with that first step, as you saw right there, John.
And that's the 3rd foul on Lindemann. This could be interesting because Northwestern now brings Rankin back in the game, and Indiana may have to substitute to get Lindemann out to prevent any more fouls here in the first half. Indiana does substitute with Graham. He does go in for Lindemann. So now Indiana comes with a shorter lineup, whereas Northwestern gets some height into theirs.
It's a much smaller lineup for Indiana, but much more potent as far as on the offensive end. They've got about 4 guys in there that can score at any time, and they got a great passer in Patrick Knight.
Northwestern by 2. Indiana offensively, and it looks like they've set a little higher offense now, Ted. Trying to get Bailey posted up inside. Here's Evans on Williams. A jump hook is way short. Good defense by Williams. And Rankin with the board.
I think an important thing to note right there, that little stretch was put together with probably your main offensive weapon, Kevin Rankin, on the bench. Northwestern was able to put together a nice little run right there.
Henderson slaps away. A trap now in the corner. Nellums has it deflected away right in front of the Indiana bench. And Baldwin back in. Sean, is this typical for Northwestern? A lot of substituting?
A lot of substitutions. They like to play a little bit of an up-tempo game. Right here you see the reason you do not want to kill your dribble in the corner. You have 1, 2 defenders in the baseline and then the end line serving as an additional defenders. Northwestern dodged a bullet right there.
Williams posts inside. Evans, hand in the face. There's Nellums again at 6'5". He's really making a difference. And Indiana kind of shakes their heads inside.
Well, he's been very active not in the last 2 games, including this one, as I said, against Michigan State. Came in and in a game that was really out of hand early, came in and did a nice job offensively, but he kept moving. He did not allow himself to be screened out on this play and has an opportunity to go to the foul line.
Kitch, what do you think about not having your teammates there at the foul line? We've never seen this before.
Well, it is different, but so far they're shooting pretty good percentage from there.
Here you see the other 4 players. They're just beyond the timeline.
And another reason, another big reason to do this is the big fella you see in the back of the picture there. Coach Birdsong came in and really did a lot of film evaluation and saw that Kevin Rankin was picking up some cheap fouls on foul line situations. That was also a big factor in that decision.
Here's Bailey, the crowd getting restless. Pat Knight, cross court to Evans. Shot fake and a drive. He goes to Hart. Turnaround jumper is good. Steve Hart brings Indiana within 2. Hart's 3rd point. Evans goes for the steal. Leslie with long range 3. No good. Nellums again inside. And blocked. And a foul. What is it about this Cedric Nellums against Indiana?
That's a very good call there. Alan Henderson whacked him really good. The problem is Indiana's turning and watching the ball rather than turning and finding their man before they go to the board. Cedric Nellums continues to go to the board. He's quick. He's a quick jumper. And he's getting the rebounds right now.
Nellums' scoring is down, only 8.6 this year. He's led the team in scoring both his freshman and sophomore years. But with Ricky Birdsong now, comes off the bench. Gets his 7th point of the game, and a great start for the junior. There's Ricky Birdsong. Good look at the new coach, and as Sean Morris mentioned, he's brought a great attitude in here to Northwestern. Great 9-0 preseason. Still looking for that first Big Ten win. He's good on the second. Northwestern leads by 4. Indiana attacks. Bailey gets it inside. That's where he wants it, and that's why.
Very good offensive play by Damon Bailey. It looked like he was going to shoot that fall-away jumper. All of a sudden, at the last second, he leaned into the basket, and because of it, you can see he makes a nice cut, and it looks like he's going to take that fall-away and all of a sudden for the ball and look to score right away. Try to get involved in the offense, and all of a sudden, I think you'll find yourself in openings.
Leslie again outside. Is long. Technical foul called on the Indiana bench. Bob Knight picks up the technical. Tom Rucker with the call will retain possession after the free throws. And I'm not sure what call coach was trying to bring to the officials' attention.
Coach Knight, when Tommy Rucker turned around and teed him up, you could see a real surprised look on Coach Knight's face.
Timeout, 7:59 left. Northwestern leads it 23-20. We'll be back after these messages.
As sure as the sun rises every morning, Farm Bureau Insurance is standing behind you and the people you care about. For nearly 60 years, we've shared in the most important moments of your lives. And whatever the future brings, our commitment remains as strong as ever. Yesterday, today, and for all the tomorrows to come, you can depend on Farm Bureau Insurance.
At NBD, we believe that when a community puts their money into our bank, we ought to put some money and time back into the community. After all, it's not just where we do business, it's where we live.
Ameritech, your local phone company, can make working at home work for you.
If you don't have these technologies, then you're stuck. You're tied to one location.
Our home office specialists know how to get your computer, your modem, and your fax machine to work together, and they'll talk to you for free.
It's a real asset. I mean, I couldn't survive without it.
If you ever have a problem, remember, we're not just the nice guys. We're the smart guys.
It just makes my life a lot easier, a lot simpler.
Ameritech, your link to a better life.
Our next telecast will be this Wednesday, the 26th. The Minnesota's Golden Gophers visit the Assembly Hall. Tip-off is 8 p.m. Join us here on TTV4 for all the action. We're in bounds as Northwestern has increased their lead to 3. They retain possession as the technical called as the shot was in the air, and Rankin's shot is in the basket.
Nice job of turning and facing, keeping the ball high, examining the options, and then knocking down the intermediate jump shot.
5 points for Rankin, and that is the lead that Northwestern has. A drive by Evans, and he's fouled.
Really big play by Brian Evans to be able to step up, take it inside, lean, get the shot to go. Indiana really needed somebody to step up. Brian Evans takes over. You can see Brian Evans, very similar to play Damon Bailey made just a second ago. He leans in, gets his body, and in college you're going to get that call.
A free throw good by Evans. It cuts the lead to 2. And this crowd getting excited that they've had coming here at Assembly Hall. Shot missed by Baldwin. Here's Wilkerson. Big play here for Indiana. Hart's going to take it. Henderson on the board.
Out of there. He didn't have a shot.
Indiana controls. Hart inside. Traveling call on Baldwin.
The floor rather than walking it up, they get it up. Damon Bailey makes a sharp cut. Sharon Wilkerson able to hit him. Damon will go to the line for 2.
2 fouls on Dewey Williams now.
Going to take a look at the replay. You can see Sharon Wilkerson is just one good screen right here in Damon Bailey. See how the middle is open now where somebody can cut in there and do something with the ball. Before, there were 3 or 4 people in that room to move in there. Is free throw shooting mechanical or concentration? Some would debate.
Indiana's got the lead for the first time in a long time in this ball game. Small lead.
Once again, Northwestern keeping the ball on one side of the floor.
Good move by Rankin, baseline, and
illness the past 3 or 4 games.
7 points now for Rankin. Here's Evans. Tries to go right. Leslie cuts him off.
Good help by Todd Leslie right there.
Hart, this is Wilkerson on top. Hart with a jumper outside, about 15 feet. Steve Hart now with 5 points.
Down a couple times, and he missed an open jump shot a couple times ago, but comes right back, shows he's got a lot of confidence in shooting the basketball.
Cross court by Leslie. Nellums works inside. Now he has the height advantage over Hart.
Nice execution right there by Northwestern. A nice skip pass by Kevin Rankin. Drew the defense from the right to the left side. Good slash cut by Cedric Nellums. Good job of recognition by Matt Purdy to find it.
Nellums already has his average, now 10 in fact. Evans, and that was for 3. Let's see what happens.
He should have just thrown the ball up in the air, and Todd Leslie kicked it to Pat Baldwin, who didn't. The ball never hit the floor, if you notice right there too. Never touched the floor. Good job of finishing by Cedric Nellums.
Rankin comes out with 7 points. Evans goes
on, and you just can't let him set up down low, or he's going to score, or you're going to foul him.
Evans gives Indiana the game right here because Northwestern has really hung tough into this ball game. Right side. Nellums is working inside, this time on Wilkerson, and Wilkerson.
Good defensive positioning by Sharon Wilkerson. He did a nice job of just filling the passing lane.
In front again, the pressure by Wilkerson. Just trying to get Northwestern a little out of their tempo on offense. Matt Purdy, Wilkerson again goes for the steal. Nellums outside, not afraid to take that outside shot.
That's a part of his game he's really worked to improve. We've seen him be able to take the ball to the rim and slash. Nice job of spurring up and knocking down the stationary jump shot.
He's been the difference in the game. 12 points. Indiana goes inside to Henderson, and under control, he draws the foul. That's Dewey Williams, an Indianapolis North Central product. So these guys probably mixed it up in high school. Of course, Henderson from above.
See Coach Birdsong very upset with that because Brian Evans was able to get the pass from top, and he's talking to the defensive player about getting over the top and not letting that pass come in. It's one thing to feed the post from the wing, but bringing it in from the top, Coach Birdsong not very happy with that. With that foul shot, here's a reminder that Soe diesel fuel can be used in any diesel engine without the expense of engine modifications. Just one more reason why Soe diesel is the cost-effective pollution solution.
Henderson good on the second. Indiana now leads by 4. Henderson now has 12 points. He and Nellum's the leading scorers in the ballgame. 1-4 offense by the Wildcats, trying to keep that middle open. Here's a steal again. This time it's Evans. Tries to gain control. And now a lob pass to Henderson. Shot is off, but a foul against Rankin.
I don't know if that pass was for Steve Hart or Alan Henderson, but it turned out you're going to take a look at it here. Brian Evans, once again, very similar to what Sharon Wilkerson did just a few minutes ago. But you can see Steve Hart runs right here, and I thought the pass was for him. But Brian Evans is a good passer. He sees the floor very well. He probably saw Alan Henderson.
Wilkerson also there. Henderson draws the foul. It's Rankin's first. Henderson off on that free throw. 10th team foul, so Indiana gets 2 the rest of the half. Good on the second. And we've got timeout. We'll be back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network. And the Indiana movie premiere of Blue Chips starring Nick Nolte. Remember, Nolte was here last March. Will premiere in Bloomington Tuesday, February 15th. Tickets and times to be shortly. Proceeds to the IU Library Fund. And look for Ricky Rowe. That's Matt Nover. He has a big part in that movie. And yours truly, an announcer for Nick Nolte's team, the Western Dolphins. Look for me at the box office.
Sounds like a fishy story to me.
There's the shooting on the game. Northwestern at 47. Here's a steal. And that's an intentional foul. You see the officials with the crossed hands above the head. That goes on Purdy as he tried to catch up to Henderson.
I hate to see that. If he's going to foul him like that, I'd rather see him just grab him totally. So, you know, Alan Henderson's had a knee problem anyway. You can see he kind of pushes him, but he just doesn't grab him. I think that's a good foul. I think that's a good call as far as intentional. I don't think he was really going after the ball there.
Third on Purdy. You see they clear the lane that time. Purdy said he was going for the ball as he talks here to Sid Rodehefer. Henderson is strong on the first. There's Matt.
Bill Lambier, he said he was going for the ball too.
Henderson a great first half, 13 points. Missed both free throws. Indiana will retain possession and get the ball out of bounds. Leslie comes in now as Purdy leaves. They want to pick that fourth foul up in the first half. Indiana stretched this lead now to 5. Remember, the score was even at about the 5-minute mark. And now Indiana's taken a 5-point lead. Very important for the emotional level going into the halftime. Bailey on the drive. Jumper is short. Rankin with the board. And he goes to Baldwin. Right now, Northwestern with a little size advantage in the ball game. And steal again. It's the steals by Indiana's defense that have turned this around, and Wilkerson seems to have jammed a finger. But he is, and that is his right hand. Will be the one to go to the foul line. Let's watch.
Indiana's defense really picked up. Alan Henderson's made a steal. That's a second for Sharon Wilkerson, and that usually doesn't happen to Patrick Baldwin. He's usually doing that to his opponents. He's the all-time steals leader for Northwestern, and he's in the top 5 in the Big Ten as far as steals. A great defensive player for Northwestern.
Wilkerson trying to shake off that right hand. You see 65% on the year. Chest off on the roll. That hand really seems to be bothering him. It didn't look like it got dislocated, just kind of jammed in there.
It hurts a lot more after you miss.
If you make them, that's right. It wouldn't hurt as bad.
It wouldn't hurt near as bad if it had went in.
That one again just off. Kirkpatrick with the board. So Indiana misses a chance to extend the lead just under 3 minutes.
Northwestern has been stuck on 31 for quite a while here.
And it's defensive pressure that's done it. Look at Wilkerson outside with the ball. Look how high the offense is. But that does leave the inside open. Leslie on an acrobatic move gets 2.
That was created by Damon Bailey turning his head. Good V-cut, set it up. Defender turns his head, make him pay.
Evans with the lob, another turnover. Now the fast break. There goes Nellums. Bailey tries to catch him. He does bother the shot, and Hart gets the rebound.
Great hustle by Damon Bailey. Could have very easily just given up and let Cedric Nellums have to. Instead, he ran all the way the length of the floor, able to bother him just enough.
Good double team, an easy block for Rankin. Evans tries to come up with it. He does, saves it to Baldwin. Action furious now. Here's Nellums. Wilkerson cuts him off. Nellums picks the dribble up. And we've got 2 minutes left in a well-played first half. Northwestern showing some good composure here in this ball game. Indiana just not on track offensively. Kirkpatrick to bounce pass, Baldwin with the shot, and Wilkerson draws the foul.
Once again, good execution right there by Northwestern. Kip Kirkpatrick able to break down the defense on the penetration, makes the defense react rather than reacting to what the defense gives. Able to hit Patrick Baldwin on the baseline, who takes it up strong, gets fouled, has the opportunity to convert at the foul line.
2 now on Wilkerson. 8th team foul for Indiana. Baldwin at the line. Lead now cut to 2 points as Wilkerson still shaking that right hand.
Northwestern needs every foul shot, particularly on the road. With the clock stopped and under 2 minutes to go, every foul shot becomes that much more critical. And the misses for Indiana really start to look big at this point.
1 point ball game. Bailey trying to work inside. Henderson trying to post. Evans launches a 3 from outside.
He's hit 3 really big shots early in the game when Indiana was down by 5. He hit 2 big shots, comes back. Northwestern had gotten to within 1, and Brian Evans takes it upon himself to hit a big shot once again.
10 points for Evans. Baldwin takes it inside, the easy dish to Rankin. Good recognition to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, the defender, Alan Henderson, comes over, but once again, it was created by penetration. The defense has to react. Someone has to get open. Kevin Rankin found the seam.
9 now for Rankin as he works on Henderson inside. Bailey gets double team, triple team, and he gets the bank shot.
Very good pass from Brian Evans to find Damon Bailey inside. Good patience by Damon Bailey to finally wait and find that opening, able to get it up off the board.
45 seconds left. Northwestern. Baldwin picks it up. Leslie open under the basket, but Nellum's not able to get it into him. Takes Evans all the way, and Evans with the block. Long lead pass to Wilkerson. He loses control. The ball is tapped away. And there he is right under the IU basket.
Good hustle by Todd Leslie with the back tip. Didn't give up on the lead pass, knocked it out of bounds.
They're going to give that ball to Indiana.
Really an iffy pass by Damon Bailey, especially with the shot clock off. You're going to take a look at it. But he threaded the needle. It's right where it needed to be, but just couldn't get a handle on it. Todd Leslie, you can see, knocks it away there. Good hustle by Northwestern.
Ball inside, Henderson's got it, 25 seconds. Jumper baseline is missed. Wilkerson with the tap. but he's over the back as Nellums had inside position.
Very surprised Indiana did not go for the final shot of the half. Again, the shot clock was off. That way they'd have a chance to go in at least 4 up, possibly 6 or 7 up. Instead, Steve Hart takes it right off the out-of-bounds pass and puts it up.
Pat Knight checks in. Wilkerson leads with 3, gets an ice bag also for that hand. I think Dan Dockett's explaining that right to him there, Ted Kitchell. Nellums go to the line. Number 10 is Kenneth Lee. Interesting story there, Sean. That used to be Dion Lee, number 24. Tell us about that.
Well, when Coach Birdsong came in, as we talked about, one of the big things that he wanted to do was change the outset. Didn't feel that Dion Lee, who wore number 24 last year, was doing the things that it took to be a player. Said, I'm going to change your number and your name. Fortunately, I've been able to keep mine so far.
Well, Dion's his middle name, Kenneth his first name, so Birdsong made the change. There's Evans inside. Layup is missed. Rankin has it. 5 seconds left. Indiana takes some chances on defense. Northwestern trying for the last shot, tipped away, and that's going to do it. The clock is at 0, but the buzzer has not sounded. Let's see what they do. Rucker points up at the scoreboard. They got to wait till the horn sounds. Knight's leaving. Bailey throws it full court. There's the horn as Henderson does get a shot away, but Rucker is calling no foul. Henderson wanted the foul. Knight was already in the locker room. It's halftime, 41-37. Indiana leads it. We'll be back after these messages.
Here in the Outback, we know what's important in life. Food.
You don't mind, do you?
No, mate, I don't.
If you feel the same way, get to Outback Steakhouse.
I got a bloomin' good recipe for onions.
Stocks trading at 52.
The most powerful tool in business
Sit tight.
is the sound of the human voice.
Good morning, West Realty.
That's why GTE guarantees to install or repair your voice products on time, or we'll pay. Because for the most powerful tool in business to work,
Put
it about 50. It must be heard.
Putting you through. Good morning, West Realty.
Voice products from GTE can put that power to work. We can plan, provide, service, and guarantee a system for you. Call us.
On the surface, all herbicides for no-till may appear the same. But when you probe further, it's easy to see why Scepter herbicide works best for no-till. It cuts through the residue and stays in the top few inches of the soil where weeds germinate. So you get weeds before they start, right on through to harvest. Don't be left in the dark. See your Cyanamid Agri-Center dealer for Scepter.
IU is trying to reach out and touch more Indiana residents academically. This story tonight on IU Update. Good evening, everyone. Indiana University is among a growing number of colleges that use television to deliver information from one site to another. And while distance education is not new, it's becoming more important to people who want a college education but can't make it to classes on a traditional campus.
What kinds of information are provided?
Professor Robert Votaw teaches a freshman-level science class on the IU campus at Gary. He has agreed to put his class on television, making it available to virtually anyone in Northwest Indiana who wants to tune in.
We are at the leading edge of a real change that's made available by the technology. My students who are not in the classroom with me, I hope will still feel that they're part of my classroom, even though they're at the other end of the television reception. People who would not normally want to take a college course for credit still have the opportunity to sit in, acquire some knowledge, understand how we do science, understand how that science applies to their lives.
Distance education is no longer an experiment. Television is helping expand the educational arena, giving students and taxpayers a first-hand look inside Indiana University.
IU Update will be right back.
Blossoms.
Is this what attracts some of the top professors and researchers in the world to Indiana University? Enough to rank 25 of our departments in the nation's top 10. Well, it doesn't hurt.
Indiana University students, faculty, and staff raised more than $400,000 this year for the Monroe County United Way. The IU basketball team alone generated more than $15,000 by playing an exhibition game in November. A young IU student from Jasper has been awarded a Rhodes Scholarship, one of the world's most prestigious academic achievements. Zachary Ziliak is a 20-year-old straight-A student who will graduate this May with majors in physics, math, Japanese, German, and linguistics. Next year, he'll study at Oxford College in England. And finally, we'd like you to meet Rodney Mays. As a boy, Mays successfully underwent treatment for leukemia at Riley Children's Hospital on the IUPUI campus. Today, he is back at the hospital, but as a PhD student, he works in the Wells Center for Pediatric Research, where he studies a new type of drug used to treat children with brain tumors.
The types of studies that I'm doing will not necessarily just lead to a PhD, but will hopefully, have broader implications.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Now let's go back to Assembly Hall. Reporting from the Bloomington campus of Indiana University, I'm Sandy Mathis-Robe. Indiana, we're all for you.
Indiana leads at halftime, 41-37. Northwestern very much in this ball game. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. First for Northwestern, Kevin Rankin, Sean.
Kevin Rankin's done a nice job. They needed his presence inside to have any chance here this evening. Good job of penetrating by Patrick Baldwin, finding a seam by Kevin Rankin. He's had a big first half.
For Indiana, it's been Brian Evans with a good first half.
After Coach Knight's technical, Brian Evans came out and scored 5 big points for Indiana. Here, Cedric Nellums has to know that Brian Evans can step back and hit that three. Brian Evans, another big three-pointer, a big shot for Indiana.
We'll be back with more halftime after these messages.
Come on, guys, we're gonna be late.
Hey, what's this movie all about anyway?
I hope it's a musical. I love musicals.
No, it's a movie about this woman and all the things that happened to change her life.
Oh, great. Girl movie.
Why do things always have to change? I like my life just the way it is.
Don't you want to know what's out there? Experience new things, meet new people?
Come on, do we have to have a debate?
I have an idea. Let's go bowling.
I can't wait to get to college. I mean, by going to college, you could be anything you want to be.
For over 150 years, America's universities have given kids from everywhere the chance to pursue their dreams through an education. And what their dreams have given back to us is immeasurable.
You know, Sherry, one thing you should know. Life is not like the movies.
It's halftime. Indiana leads at 41-37, and we'll be back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Halftime at Assembly Hall. Both teams still in the lockers getting instructions from the respective coaches. Time now for the Farm Bureau Insurance halftime report. Let's take a look at the first half stats there. Anything pop out there, you guys?
Well, for Northwestern, the 50% shooting and the 80% shooting from the foul line, critical factors for Northwestern. They've really struggled on the road in that department so far, doing a nice job up to this point.
For Indiana, I think the important thing there is usually they make more free throws than their opponents attempt. You can see Northwestern doing a nice job of getting to the line so far.
But Indiana, 5 first-half turnovers, one of our keys to the game, Ted.
Doing a nice job not turning the ball over. You can see Northwestern also doing a nice job of staying with Indiana on the board. Todd Lindemann only played 4 minutes because of foul trouble.
Let's take a look at Northwestern scoring.
12 for Nellums off the bench, a nice offensive spark for him.
Let's see some of his action in the first half.
We see here a nice flash cut. Good interior feed by Patrick Baldwin. Takes it to the rim strong. Nice slashing first half for Cedric Nellums. Big boost with 12 points off the bench.
For Indiana, they're led in scoring by Alan Henderson, followed closely by Evans.
Alan Henderson did a nice job inside, taking it inside early when he had the advantage. You're going to see him here pass away, then go down the lane and set up against Cedric Nellums. Nellums only about 6'5", and you can see quick drop step inside. Nice move by Alan Henderson.
And now let's visit with the Farm Bureau Insurance Project XL guests of the game.
Hi, I'm George McGinnis. Tonight, our Farm Bureau Insurance guest of the game is Mildred Ball, an assistant commissioner for the Indiana High School Athletic Association. And Mildred, this year's Project XL topic is the family. Why does the association feel this is such an important issue?
George, the real and valued lessons of life develop as a result of our relationships within the family, within our family of friends and community. There's an old African proverb which states that it takes a whole village to raise one child. One of the purposes of the IHSAA is to assure that each child has a fair chance to participate and to compete.
Do you think this topic is appropriate just for a certain type of kid?
This topic is appropriate for every kid.
You know, Mildred's right. Project XL is open to everyone. So if you're a high school student living in Indiana, make sure you have your entry in by January 28th.
Both teams are back. Time now for our halftime college scoreboard, which is brought to you by the Indiana University Medical Center. A lot of Big Ten action. No score yet from Penn State and Iowa. Minnesota defeated Michigan State by 2, and Purdue an easy victory over Ohio State. And we'll be back with the start of the second half after these messages.
Mom, when do we eat?
Anytime you have more than one child, it's a busy household.
Ameritech, your local phone company, knows how hectic life can be.
It's always chaotic.
That's why our business hours go well beyond 9 to 5, like yours do.
I'm teaching. I go to graduate school full-time.
This is a real convenience for Mrs. Turner. She can call us when she's got some free time.
My day never ends.
Whenever that is. Ameritech, your link to a better life.
A new discovery, a new technology, a new one-pass corn herbicide. Guardsman eliminates grasses. Guardsman eliminates broadleaf weeds. New Guardsman, more active, more effective, more consistent than Bullet or Bicep or Extrazine. See the difference a whole new molecule can make. Try Guardsman, the new leader in premix performance.
In this throwaway, disposable world, it's nice to find things that last. Relationships, neighborhoods, and the businesses in them. Like your neighborhood 76 station. For years, folks have relied on 76 for quality gasolines to help keep their engines clean and running smooth. Nothing lasts forever, but we think a long, long time would be nice. 76. Go with the spirit.
Our next telecast will be this Wednesday, January 26th. The Minnesota's Golden Gophers and Clem Haskin visit the Assembly Hall. 8 o'clock is tip-off here on TTV4. The rest of Indiana's upcoming schedule, they will be at Illinois next Sunday. And then Ohio State's Buckeyes come to Assembly Hall. A couple road games, and then the Iowa Hawkeyes again. No easy rest for the Big Ten teams this year.
Northwestern has a couple of games coming up this weekend. Wednesday, January 26th versus the Iowa Hawkeyes, and then the 29th versus Penn State.
Laz, I know we don't do this very often, but I was out in Vegas and I saw a big fan, a guy that grew up in Worthington, Indiana, a guy named Joe Longo, and he wanted me to say hello to his parents, Wilma, Larry, and their Aunt Mary Jo down in Worthington, Indiana, big IU fans.
Speaking of fans, there's Pee Wee Herman from the movie Porky. Sean Morris, what do you think about that, huh?
Well, being a connoisseur of fine films, I saw the trilogy. I never missed one, and that's my brush with greatness this evening.
And Pee Wee does work for the Fort Wayne Fury CBA team where Lyndon Jones and Jay Edwards have played. He's down here at the ball game, so he's involved a little in athletics. And I'll tell you, our cameramen don't miss a thing. They know where everybody is. Let's get back to action. Indiana leads by 4. Northwestern has the ball.
You can see Indiana, it starts with quite a different lineup. They got Pat Graham, who played all of about 20 seconds in the first half. Todd Leary, who did not play at all, who gets burnt right there defensively. But Indiana coming out with a much more potent offensive team here in the second half.
Leary does get the start. There he is, coming off a good game against Michigan. Pat Graham also here in the second half. Bailey, Evans, and Henderson inside. Nellum's, of course, in after that great first half for the Wildcats. Henderson tries to take it inside. He's off balance. Shot is missed. Kirkpatrick has it. And Northwestern has a chance to tie.
Indiana works it around for about 25 seconds. That's not the shot I think that Coach Knight's looking for. I think he feels he could probably come down and get that one right away. Alan Henderson either needs to do something with the ball right away or give it up and go down and set a screen.
Larry saves that ball out of bounds. Steve Hart comes in quickly. And he comes in for Larry. So Larry only gets a little over a minute, and Hart checks in for him.
He was beaten defensively twice. That time he was lucky enough to get a hand on it, but got a layup before that. Northwestern never was able to score 3.
Screen leaves Leslie open there, Sean.
Fantastic execution. You hit it right on the head. Good baseline screen. Has a chance to catch, square up, and knock it down.
And all of a sudden, the Wildcats are up a point as they score the first 5 in the second half.
Indiana's still real tight to the lane offensively. There's just not much room for any type of movement. Now that time Alan Henderson catches it, he shoots it right away. That's what Indiana needs. Even though he misses a shot, much better execution.
And Rankin has the board. Indiana has gone cold here in the first minute and a half. Here's Baldwin. His jumper is off. Rankin's right there for the board.
Oh, boy. Oh.
And it's going to be offensive. Ricky Birdsong is up and can't believe it.
I can't say I blame him.
That's really a tough call. Brian Evans kind of backed himself into that one. Kevin Rankin really had the position. You can take a look at it. Take it, Sean.
He's got it inside right there. The ball just took a bounce Kevin Rankin's way. They wave it off, and Ricky Birdsong may have set an indoor high jump record right there when they made that call.
Tough call, and that's Rankin's second, but more importantly, it gives the ball back to Indiana, as Rankin would have had a shot. The turnover, though, and the Wildcats have it again.
Good recovery by Kevin Rankin on the attempted high-low.
Drive by Kirkpatrick, he dishes off, and this time Bailey knocks it away as Rankin was open on the baseline.
Indiana was able to get the ball inside Alan Henderson early in the game, so now they continue to try to fire it inside. Northwestern had made good adjustments. Indiana not able to get it inside. Bailey and Graham going to have to look for the outside shot.
Sean Morris, what kind of change do you think Northwestern would make here in the second half?
Well, they really, when they've moved the ball from side to side, we saw it the first two possessions, got good jump shots, good offensive possessions. They're keeping the ball on one side of the floor. They're very easy to guard.
Rankin misses outside. Indiana has it. Here's Henderson trying to take it inside. Blocked from behind as Kirkpatrick came to help. Let's see, Rucker's going to make that call from the inside, just in front of the Indiana bench.
You can see a good entry pass by Pat Graham. Good post up by Alan Henderson. Does a nice job using his body, getting inside. Not a lot of ball. Todd Leslie maybe gets him on the arm there a little bit, but Pat Graham has got to be a factor outside the line right now, not even looking for the jump shot, just trying to look inside. That foul shot's good, and Soy Inc. is good for the environment too. Soy Inc. releases fewer toxic emissions and results in less air pollution.
That foul goes against Kirkpatrick from behind. 14 points now for Henderson, and short on that one. Kirkpatrick able to get the board. We're tied, 17-15 left in the game, and Northwestern really holding its own against Indiana. There's Rankin inside. Good help by Graham, but he's called for the foul. It's a problem with letting that ball go into the post. There's too many bad things that can happen for the defense, too many good things for the offense.
Yeah, and right there, when the big man senses the double team, when he sees the guy coming, that means someone's right open. Kevin Rankin wasn't able to find it because he was fouled.
Nellums inside. He goes right up on Henderson and draws the foul. Henderson, a pretty good shot blocker, but again, that quick jump, I think.
And a nice up and under move. We'll see it coming in right here. The interior feed. See, he goes up, fake, under. Nice step through right there by Cedric Nellums. Draws the foul.
Just like you mentioned, Les, when you get it in the post, as the guy from Hoosiers who does all the Nike commercials would say, you know, bad things going to happen when they get it inside. So Northwestern doing a nice job being patient, moving, and they're leaving the lane open so people can cut in and out of the lane much better than Indiana has on their offensive end.
Good shot by Nellums. Gives Northwestern the lead. They're up 2. Just under 17 left. Again, Indiana needs a spark here offensively. They go to Hart inside. He misses, and Rankin there on the board.
And the key so far in the second half that you didn't see in the first half, in the first 5 minutes, Northwestern holding Indiana to one and done. No second chance opportunity for the Hoosiers.
Steps that time as Nellums moved a little too quickly. 12 turnovers. Ricky Birdsong got to be pretty pleased with the way his Cats have come out here in this second half. Turnovers, the edge to Indiana. Bailey still not on track offensively. Good pass by Henderson. Evans misses on the layup. Hart has it. Pat Graham fakes the 3 and takes the 2 for Pat Graham, ties the score.
That's why Pat Graham's in the game. Indiana's got a lot of people that can dribble the ball and pass the ball, but Pat Graham's one of the guys that can really shoot it. When he's in the game, got to look for a shot.
Nice move.
Rankin takes it in, and the tap as he follows. He got Evans out of position and gives the Wildcats the lead.
Nice duck in. Sorry my enthusiasm, but a nice duck in. He catches it, up and under move, draws the defender up in the air and finishes it.
Graham again, he's just made it on the last one, forces that one. Now it's 3-on-1. Baldwin in the middle to Leslie, Bailey back, and the foul as Bailey comes down on Leslie as he tries the shot.
And a good job of recognition right there by Kip Kirkpatrick. He gives it up to, we'll see it coming up right here. Shot off. Kip Kirkpatrick is, now watch, smart move right here, giving it to his point guard, filling the lane, getting it to your best ball handler. So the other person running the lane, in this case Todd Leslie, has a chance to convert. Smart heads-up play by Kip Kirkpatrick.
That's Bailey's first foul, third team foul on Indiana's second half. 11 now for Leslie, a very good free throw shooter. Makes both, and the lead goes to 4. We're at 15:44 left with Northwestern leading 48-44. We'll be back after these messages.
All over Indiana, teenage drivers are making a promise they can live by.
I promise to drive safely.
I promise to not drink and drive.
I promise to drive defensively, especially at night.
I promise to buckle up.
Keep your promise, and Farm Bureau Insurance promises to give you a $1,000 savings bond if you drive with us for 3 consecutive years without a traffic violation or an accident. See your Farm Bureau Insurance agent for details.
Attention students, a few brief scheduling messages. The bake sale begins at noon. There will be a pep rally at 4, and this year's big game starts at 7. Oh, by the way, the cafeteria is now serving Edie's cookie dough ice cream.
Edie's. Evidently, it's not your normal ice cream.
Nice flash cut coming up right here. Big time offensive move by Kevin Rankin. You see it, a nice flash cut, turns face, up and under move, draws the defender up in the air, takes it up, doesn't finish on the first opportunity, but sticks with it, knocks it down. Good offensive skills right there, good footwork for a big fella.
Look at the shooting here, and Northwestern continuing to shoot better than any other opponent that Indiana has faced. Lindemann this time with the follow. Lindemann's been out with some foul trouble and immediately comes into the ball game and gives Indiana a lift. Here's Baldwin, step out by Lindemann, and now the feed into Rankin. Good smart play. Northwestern's offense really clicking.
A little bit of a pick and roll right there. Kevin Rankin in the motion offense lays a little bit of a screen, rolls. We'll see it coming up right here. A little bit of a pick and roll, boom, hit, comes through. Nice job by Patrick Baldwin of finding him, and then the most important thing, converts. Doesn't just draw the foul, but he converts in a three-point play.
That foul on Pat Graham, his third now, so Indiana's starting to get into some foul trouble. Northwestern takes its lead to 5 points. Indiana looks inside to Bailey, triple team, goes weak side now. Henderson's got a jump shot, he's off. Lindemann's got the ball. He goes up and misses, but he gets fouled, so twice in a row, Lindemann hits the boards.
Todd Lindemann, much more aggressive. We're going to take a look at it. You can see he's got a pretty good arm in Nelum's back. It gives him a little bit of shove. Very lucky that he didn't get called for his fourth foul there, but again, it's good to see Todd Lindemann being aggressive on the offensive backboard.
And in the games I've seen this year, this big fella has really improved. I mean, he came out and did a nice job against Iowa. In the game I saw, a couple of nice drop steps, finished it up strong, and then played, what, 43, 44 minutes against Purdue. Really put in a yeoman's effort.
The information provided in tonight's game regarding the environmental benefits of soybean products is brought to you by Indiana's 40,000 soybean farmers and made possible through their contribution to Gleaner's statewide food bank.
Lindemann short on that one, but he's brought the lead down to 4. Remember, Indiana's won 17 of the last 18 meetings against the Wildcats, and they are 0-21 here at Assembly Hall. And Northwestern's never won here. Here's Baldwin. Dishes off to Nelums, very patient here on the offense. That comes from some senior leadership. Move inside, and again, Nelums able to draw the foul.
Slashing, creating scoring opportunities. This time he goes with the left hand, beats the initial defender on the baseline, makes Todd Lindemann come over. We'll see it coming up right here. A little bit of a shot fake, uses his left hand. Here he comes. Good call. The little scrape right there by Alan Henderson before Lindeman was able to come over and send it out.
That's Henderson's third foul, Indiana's 15th foul. 15 points now for Cedric Nelum, so he's more than doubled his, almost doubling now his season's average, 8.6. Always had good games against Indiana. Off on that free throw, Lindeman has the board. Indiana's down 5. We're just past the first 5-minute marker of the second half and give that advantage to Northwestern. Whistle by Tom Rucker. And that foul's going to go on Leslie. That's his second, Todd Leslie. Bob Knight is up with the officials again. Sid Rodeheffer steps in. They want play to continue in front of the Indiana basket. Wilkerson has it. Indiana again not on track offensively to start the second half.
Offensive.
And that's right, Sid Rodeheffer with the call. Pat Graham with the dribble on the right hand, with the left hand held the defender, and Graham has his 4th foul. Let's watch.
Pat Graham looks a little bit frustrated. You can see it's an obvious offensive foul. Doesn't even hide it there. I mean, he basically takes his head off of it.
It's like Jack Tatum.
Yeah.
Northwestern possession. They lead by 5. Rankin stops, dishes, and Baldwin has the layup.
Nice job of creation by the 7-footer right there. Gets in the lane, penetration, nice slashing move.
Here's Graham. Dishes to Henderson. There's a jump hook as he goes over Rankin.
And I think Ricky Birdsong wanted a walk down there in the paint.
Indiana trails by 5. Crowd is up. Here's the matchup inside. Rankin, Lindeman. And a foul. That goes on Lindeman. Rankin, a quick move inside.
Well, he's really showed up to play this evening. As I said, he's had pneumonia. Really the first time he's felt 100% in a couple of weeks. But he catches the ball on the block, does not hesitate, takes the ball to the rim. Good job of recognizing that Lindeman's on him and in foul trouble. Nice little drop step. Aggressively takes the ball to the rim.
Todd Lindeman going to have to do a better job of getting his body in position before he jumps. If his body was in good position there, he might have had a chance to have blocked that shot, but because he was out of position, all he's going to do is fouling.
Kevin Rankin just moved into 5th place on the all-time Northwestern scoring list with 1,334 points.
You know offhand, Sean, where are you on that list?
He's going to catch me real quick.
Well, we had a little ceremony here as Damon Bailey passed Ted Kitzel about 3 games ago. And Ted was silent for about 45 seconds and then was able to get back in the broadcast. So we know how that feels right here at Indiana.
Oh, boy.
All right, get together and show a few old game films, relive the memories.
The free throw is good, and Northwestern now leads by 7. Henderson trying to fight for position inside. He's really working on Rankin. Bailey trying to get in offensively. He's got the jumper, and Bailey hits for Indiana just before Nelum's able to block.
Good job by Henderson and Graham down inside, getting Bailey open. It's very difficult trying to get him open right now. They're really laying back off Pat Graham and Sharon Wilkerson.
It's going to be very important to see how Northwestern responds in the next minute and a half before the next timeout.
Kirkpatrick with a 3-pointer. He and Rankin played catch until Kirkpatrick finally took it. Northwestern's biggest lead of the game at 8.
And they were able to get that because Rankin has established himself as an inside presence.
Bailey's shot blocked by that presence. That's Rankin. And down at the other end, blocked by Wilkerson. Off of Indiana. Again, the pace, as we saw it late in the first half, up and down the floor.
Well, Northwestern really right there. 2 guys on that initial break got too close to each other. One defender, rather than spreading the defender out, was able to defend 2 people. That's why Northwestern wasn't able to get a shot at the rim.
Wildcats have it. Hart putting the pressure outside.
Be very surprised if Northwestern didn't get Kirkpatrick and Rankin together again on the same side. Very difficult when Rankin in the low post and Kirkpatrick up high as Northwestern throws it away. But they can play that 2-man game if Indiana goes back in on the play. We're going to take a look at it right here, but this is very, very difficult. You can see they throw it inside. Pat Graham's got to go back and help. Throw it back inside. He goes back in this time. Kirkpatrick feels like he has it, and he does. He knocks down the 3-point. Good offense by Northwestern.
Kirkpatrick is out of the game now with 8 points. Turnovers 13th by Northwestern. Indiana in the motion offense. Looking for Henderson inside, and Bailey cutting in. Here he is. Drives the lane. Shot is missed. Long rebound to Graham. Here's Hart. Little jumper inside is off, so Indiana getting the shots, but not falling today. Well below their season's average from the field goal position. Nellums is open. He's off. Rankin there with a board. Scramble. Out of bounds to Indiana.
Indiana very fortunate.
He's got 11:56 left.
I got it.
Indiana leads by 8. Let's take a look at the foul trouble in this ball game as we're at the 11:56 mark for Northwestern. 3 players with 3. Leslie. But look at Indiana. Graham and Lindemann both on the bubble. Wilkerson and Henderson not far behind. Indiana goes with Bailey and Graham. Evans, Henderson, and Hart in the lineup. And Northwestern's made a change. Dewey Williams in for Kevin Rankin.
This is going to be a big stretch right here for Northwestern because Kevin Rankin had come in and established himself. Dewey Williams must step up and perform.
He trips there, and Henderson gets the ball right around him, so Henderson gets an easy one. Cuts the lead to 6, 18 points for Henderson. Indiana trying to pick up the defensive pressure. Baldwin. Good help there by Graham. Williams from the outside. Bank shot is off. Graham has it. And with Rankin out of the game, this is a time Indiana's got to move. They do to Henderson. And a foul. And look at Henderson and Evans inside.
Good recognition by Pat Graham to get it down the floor. Alan Henderson post up right away. You take a look at it. Pat Graham looking for him right away. And nice entry pass. Alan Henderson. Good drop step down inside, takes it strong. Indiana on a run right now at 59-55.
That's 4 straight points. This could be 5, and the crowd doing what they can to help the Hoosiers. Henderson with the good roll, and now all of a sudden a 3-point ball game. Evans tries to steal. Leslie tries the 3. It's off. Henderson has it. It's 2 on 2. He's going to take a jumper. Long, and Williams with the board. His momentum carried him forward. The ball went a little long, out of bounds to the Wildcats.
And Northwestern needs to regain their composure offensively. A couple of hurried shots. They're getting kind of caught up in the flow and the action that the crowd's trying to generate. When they were executing the offense and making the defense react was when they were successful. They need to come down here and get a good offensive set of execution.
Baldwin comes out. Matt Purdy is in. Here's Kirkpatrick, Leslie. Dewey Williams and Nellums in. Drive, shot blocked there by Evans, picked up by Henderson. So now Indiana's offense is picked up and Northwestern's having trouble getting the shots. The lead is 3.
You can see they brought Brian Evans in to feed from the top. Great tip-in by Steve Hart. Great tip-in.
And Pat Graham misses on that 3-pointer, but he leads the nation in 3-point shooting. Pat Graham, 63%. Steve Hart with the rebound. It's a 1-point game. Timeout by Northwestern. 10 minutes, 12 seconds left. The Wildcats lead by 1. We'll be back after these messages.
My dad's a farmer. He's also an environmentalist. The soybeans we grow on our farm are used to make soy ink and soy diesel. When printers use soy ink, they create fewer poisonous fumes. And when buses, trains, and trucks burn soy diesel, they release much less sulfur and waste into the air. Encourage the people in your hometown to use soy ink and soy diesel. you'll be making the air we breathe a whole lot cleaner.
Round here, folks believe in making things last. Relationships, neighborhoods, and the family automobile. And who wouldn't want to see that 100,000-mile mark? So it's no wonder so many rely on their neighborhood 76 station. Here you'll find quality gasolines and services to help keep your car humming along. We can't promise you'll see that 100,000-mile mark, but we're glad to help you try. 76. Go with the spirit.
Making it to the pros takes a certain level of excellence, the experience to get the job done right, and a reputation for quality. Like top-quality CarQuest batteries, professional technicians know that CarQuest batteries perform each and every time. For sure starting power, CarQuest won't let you down. So for the best possible performance, install what the pros install. CarQuest.
But Rankin's right there, how quickly he makes his presence known.
Well, a nice
3-point lead for Northwestern. They've got the ball.
Kevin Rankin really the rock for Northwestern. They just look so much more secure as far as what they're doing when he's in the ball game. You can see
Nellums
Henderson goes up and makes a block. Ricky Birdsong very upset with that call, wanted a foul call.
Birdsong very emotional on that Northwestern bench. Obviously not trying to draw that technical. Let's watch.
Take a look at it. Alan Henderson, I would say he got pretty much all ball right there. I would say it's a pretty good call, though it looks a little ugly from the other side.
Possession arrow to Indiana. They've got the ball. Bob Knight and Tom Rucker again having a discussion. Henderson goes in, and he's got it. Look at Henderson's emotion now.
Alan Henderson has really stepped up his play. Coach Knight on the verge as he talks to Tommy Rucker once again. Tommy Rucker put the whistle in his mouth, and he's about ready to do it again. But Alan Henderson, get back to Alan Henderson. He really stepped up against Purdue and just played a wonderful game down in the low post. And he's not always been a great low post player. He's a guy that likes to face the basket. But you can see tonight he's got the advantage down inside. He uses his quickness, his strength. Does a nice job, even against Kevin Rankin, who's a wonderful player down inside. Alan Henderson really came to play tonight, and it's a good thing for Indiana.
Coming off a season-high 24 against Purdue. He's got 23 tonight, and he's tied the score. 9 minutes left. It's going to be a good one the rest of the way. Here come the Wildcats. Kirkpatrick. Rankin trying to get it inside. They reverse it all the way to Leslie. Nellums and Rankin really the two offensive threats. Although Leslie will take that shot outside. Here's Nellums. Driving to the basket, foul on Indiana.
He's really created a lot of scoring opportunities for himself by taking the ball to the rim. Comes off with a nice little curl cut on this possession. They hit him in the middle of the lane where the old dotted line used to be. Takes it to the rim, gets fouled.
Northwestern, a much more confident team, as we mentioned, with Kevin Rankin in the game. He sets a lot of good screens in there. And the other thing about him is he's a great release man. When they don't have any place to throw the ball, he pops out. He's a smart player, as Coach Knight talks about Kevin Rankin, a very smart player, but he pops out. He's an easy release player to get the ball to, and then he's a very good passer from the top of the key, and he gets the ball where it should be.
Baldwin is checked in for the Wildcats. Nellums is good on both, and that gives him 17 points on the night. Northwestern back in the lead by 2. Here's Hart. Baldwin falls, but Northwestern recovers. Henderson will not take that three. Indiana trying to move inside. Better picking. Graham will take that one, but a foul on Bailey on the pick to get Graham open.
Damon, not much complaint, so he looks like he knows that he did it. He didn't complain to the officials, so going to take a look at it. He goes down, he tries to set a screen for Pat Graham, but he gets to pushing a little bit there on Kirkpatrick, steps in his way, and you're going to get called for that one.
Bailey's second, Indiana's 9th team foul, so a 1-and-1 for Kirkpatrick. He is off, and Indiana boards with Evans. Henderson trying to post. Shot is over the rim. An easy rebound for Leslie. Fast break now as Nellums is in front. just off his fingertips. You see the frustration on his face.
I think you see the frustration on all the Northwestern people's face. They know that each possession is so very, very important. They just cannot throw one away like that.
8 minutes left. Northwestern by 2. Indiana trying to get on track offensively. Bailey is short. Rebound. And a foul. Let's see.
I think they got Nellums.
That is Nellums. Sid Rodehever with the call. Henderson and Evans both crashed the board that time.
And what didn't happen on Northwestern's end of the floor is they did not, when the shot went up, they turned and looked and became spectators in a sense that did not put a body on Brian Evans, and he made him pay.
Nellums' second foul, 7th team foul for Northwestern. Both teams now in the 1-on-1. There's Rucker and Knight at the bottom of your screen. Right there you see him. Rodehever steps in again. Action stopped here.
I think they're trying to confirm who the foul shooter is, if it should be Henderson or if it should be Brian Evans.
Both of them went to the board. Evans and Henderson both got a hand on that basketball, and Evans went to the official and asked, and I don't really feel like that they know exactly who it's on.
Let's watch Nellums there at the... He's coming in from behind. Looked like he got Henderson more, although Evans was the one in position for the tip. Let's see what they call. Here's Rucker at the bench.
Looks like Evans is going to be the one stepping to the line.
And of course, the officials don't have the advantage of the replay, and we do have a replay camera or monitor down on the scorer's bench, and that's exactly what they're doing. Rucker wants to take a look. Ricky Birdsong and Knight both in front of the bench, and Rucker's asking for the replay now.
Tommy Rucker looking exactly what you're looking at right now as they take a look to see who's going to shoot the fouls. They know that the foul's on Nellums. I think Alan Henderson is the one who will be going to the line.
Rucker's made his decision. Let's see what it is. Indiana's gotten a brief timeout or a chance to talk to each of the players.
And there, I'm wrong again. It's going to be Brian Evans.
See, that's 7:57 in the Northwestern game. Let's mark that one down.
Yeah, mark that down. I was wrong.
Evans does go to the line. And that's why you're in the booth and you don't have a black and white shirt, right?
Well, I think the reason that he's going is because he got his hand on the basketball. Allen really didn't get a good hand on the basketball because he was the one tipping the basketball. He's the one that has to go to the line.
And it's 2 shots because it's in the act of shooting. Evans is good on the first. That's his 11th point. Chance to tie the score here, just under 8 minutes. And what's been a very exciting game. Evans now has made all 5 of his free throws. Todd Leary will check in for Indiana. This is when it's fun to be out there. Close game. Good to have your seniors out there at this time, too. Here's Nellums, and there's Rankin inside. Kirkpatrick fakes the shot, tries to go inside. Indiana trying to help where they can. This is Baldwin open. Bailey, good shot fake that time, a little off balance. Rebound. Rankin's got it. Bailey reaches in from behind.
The big fella came to play tonight. He is around the ball. He comes up here, the ball's up, popping around in there. Big number 55, we'll see it coming up right here. Little penetration, Patrick Baldwin leaves it a little short tip. Comes up, keeps it alive, strong with 2 hands. Little head fake, fouled on the floor.
3 fouls now on Bailey, 10 for Indiana, so Northwestern gets 2 free throws for the rest of the game. Rankin long on the first.
Sean, does he ever put anybody on the foul line? I mean, obviously with 5 seconds or 10 seconds left in the game and you're down, he's going to put some people there. But, I mean, even late in the game, does he ever put anybody on the foul line?
Usually with under 5 minutes left to go in the game.
Okay.
19 points now for Rankin as he gets 1 out of 2. Northwestern leads by 1. Here's Leary in at the last timeout. Here's Bailey. Tough for Indiana to get the shots they want. Here's Evans inside. Jump hook. Softly in. Indiana leads by 1.
Good flash by Brian Evans. Steve Hart did a nice job of finding him inside. Brian Evans, again, big shot for Indiana.
Baldwin, Kirkpatrick again eyes up that 3. Double team on Nellums. He tries to split him, and he does a nice job. Evans is going to pick up the foul. He wanted a traveling. Looked like he had that pivot foot set.
I think it was locked down. It wasn't pretty, but we'll see it coming in right here. This is respect, a little bit of a double team. Keeps the foot down. Oh, that was close.
And there's the foul by Evans. Second on Evans. So 2 shots here by Nellums.
Well, Indiana fans are a little upset, but Steve Hart had him in a position where if he would have just set up, there was no way that he could let him step through. Instead, he moved a little bit. He let him step through. You're going to get in trouble when you let people get the ball in the post and let them move with it.
Nellums bangs the second one in, and Northwestern has the lead again. 6:50 left.
I think Todd Leary needs to be aggressive offensively. He needs to look for the basket if it's available.
Henderson on the turn. It's off. Rankin right in position and pulls the board. Outstanding game by Rankin today. Long lead pass to Baldwin. 3-on-2. Leslie will take that shot. Just off. Look at Nellums on the board. Knows he didn't have the shot. Back to Leslie and off. 2 shots you'll rarely see him miss in a row. Indiana boards.
What a great job on the offensive glass.
Todd Leary caught one in the nose last time under the basket, under Northwestern's basket. You can see he's in a little bit of pain.
Baldwin nearly makes the steal. He had to step on the out-of-bounds line. So Indiana gets possession. There you see Leary. As Indiana inbounds to Bailey. Evans.
Still very clogged up in Indiana's middle. Not much room for anybody to cut down the middle.
There's a cut by Hart. He can't get the ball. Evans.
Kevin Rankin on his hip. It was over.
Good pass inside. Baldwin was open. He waited for Hart to go by him and missed the shot. Henderson has the board. Fast break. Here's Bailey. Hoxie, that's Leslie took that charge. Indiana had the advantage.
Damon Bailey gets the ball that close to her lean-in bank shot. Steve Hart gets it. There's nothing there. Good position by Northwestern.
And Leslie matched up. Rankin and Henderson. Here's Nellums and Evans. Rankin tries to flash before he missed the 2 before.
Exactly.
15 points for Leslie. Northwest 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. Every possession important. Here's Rankin again. Drives, dishes now to Simpson. Kirkpatrick traveled outside, and Leary got hit in the nose again.
Very good recovery, though, by Todd Leary.
16 turnovers. Leary is going to take it out of bounds. He grabbed his nose again. Wilkerson comes in for Hart. 7 for Steve Hart as he leaves. 4:18 left. Indiana leads by 1. Small advantage on the turnovers for Indiana. Bailey.
Good job by Kip Kirkpatrick.
Jump ball. Possession arrow to Northwestern. Kirkpatrick with the play.
Excellent job of recognizing and making him pay on the spin dribble. Came over, got down, dug it out.
Indiana by 1. 4 minutes left in the game. Rankin right back to Nellums. Offensive foul as Bailey comes over to help. Nellums doesn't agree, but Bailey had some position. We'll be back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network.
Back in Bloomington, where Indiana leads Northwestern by 1 with 3:57 left in the game. We're going to take a look at that last call. Rankin does a nice job feeding Cedric Nellums. Just goes about a half a step too far. If he could just pulled up and taken that little jump shot, he would have been fine. Instead, he leaned in. He caught Damon Bailey a little bit. Damon Bailey, very good anticipation to get in position.
Both teams have timeouts left. Possession arrow to Indiana. They lead by 1. 3:45 left.
Well, they missed Brian Evans on a flash right there.
Evans outside now. Henderson using the blocks to try to get open. Rankin defending him. Bailey working outside. Gets a pick from Evans. Here's Leary. Shot clock's at 5. Indiana needs a shot. Wilkerson sees it. Leary launches just off. And Northwestern rebounds. Indiana could not get the shot they wanted before the clock expires.
Good defensive sequence right there for the Wildcats. Really fought over the top of those screens.
Nellums and Rankin work inside. Here's the pass to Nellums. Very patient this time by the Wildcats. Simpson outside with Bailey. Kirkpatrick on a drive. Nellums inside, goes quickly with the shot, good. Right on the block. Cedric Nellums having a great game, 21 points. Northwestern by 1, a seesaw battle. Both teams looking for good shots. Evans, here's Bailey, three-pointer, yes, Bailey from the outside. Indiana leads by 2. Bailey has 12 points. 2:22 left. The crowd is ready. Let's see which team is ready. Here's nice. Leslie inside. Good cut and a foul by Indiana.
Once again, Todd Leslie makes the defender pay for turning and watching the ball. They turn and watch as the ball gets kicked down to Rankin. Once he sees that, Todd Leslie moves well. Good job of recognizing and finding the open man by Kevin Rankin.
There's Evans. The foul is on Evans with 3 now.
Indiana continues to get beat to the spot, not only in the post where Rankin and Nellums are doing a nice job of posting up, but when they make cuts down the middle, Leslie continues to beat him. Kirkpatrick beats him down the lane. Indiana seems to be a step slow, and because of it, Northwestern really taking advantage.
Pat Baldwin back in now for Northwestern. 16 for Leslie, rarely misses from the line. Just above his season's average, nothing but net there. Tie score now as we approach the 2-minute mark. Down to the final few possessions of the game.
Boy, Todd Leslie is really working, fighting over the top of those screens.
They know Indiana wants to go to Bailey. Here's Evans, drives inside. Offensive
foul. Wave it off.
Leslie is in position.
That's 2 huge defensive plays by Todd Leslie. He's fighting over the top on those screens for Damon Bailey. Then he slides in and takes the offensive foul. 3 or 4 possessions ago, he did the same thing to take away an offensive opportunity.
So 2 quick fouls by Evans brings him up to 4. He's in foul trouble. 1:48 left, tie score. Baldwin to Rankin, wide open, yes. 10-footer for Rankin. And Northwestern leads with 1:40 left, 21 points for Rankin. Indiana looks inside to Bailey. The pass, he goes up over Rankin and gets the soft banker. Damon Bailey, that's why the senior's out there. He's got 14, 1 minute, 20 seconds.
Indiana needs a stop defensively. They've not been able to stop Northwestern. Northwestern continues to be able to get to the basket.
Baldwin, now Rankin tries it, blocked by Wilkerson. Saved, no. Larry stepped on the line as he went in the air. Tom Rucker with the call. Alan Henderson is bent over. He looks like he got slapped in the face. Let's watch.
We're going to take a look at it. The ball is blocked by Sharon Wilkerson. You can see when he blocked it, he hits Alan Henderson right in the face. You can see the ball actually bounces out of bounds, but he got hit pretty hard right there by Sharon Wilkerson when his hand came down after the block.
Okay, the officials are giving him a little time right now, but Indiana will have to decide whether to substitute for him or if Allen can stay in the game. Let's see. The officials confer, and obviously Allen wants to stay in the game.
Well, if he's going to stay in the game, he needs to really step up here because Kevin Rankin has really been the difference for Northwestern, and that's who Alan Henderson's guarding right now.
Drive by Nellums goes all the way.
misses a push from behind. Nellums really moved quickly on that baseline.
Boy, a little bit of a hesitation fake, like he was going to take it back into the middle of the floor. Explodes with the left hand, takes it to the rim. We'll see it coming up right here. Dangerous place to catch the ball in an inbounds. A little bit of a feint right here. Kind of froze him, stood him up, beats him with the left hand. Then he gets the shove in the back right there. Boy, that was a quick first step.
Good offense by Northwestern, but terrible defense by Indiana. Damon Bailey totally turned his back and ran away from the play. He could have turned around and stopped Cedric Nellums, made him pick it up, but Indiana not doing a very good job defensively.
There you see Henderson. We've got a timeout. 1:02 left. The score is tied. 75 each. We'll be back after these messages.
Businesses are like people. No two are quite the same. But one quality they do share is the desire to reach more customers. So GTE created Business Line 800, which allows your existing phone line to be a convenient 800 number for your customers. It's less expensive than a traditional 800 line, and that should be compatible with just about any personality. Here's our 800 number. Just give us a call.
During our prime rib feast at Steak and Ale, we'll be offering all our prime rib cuts at great savings, starting at $8.95, a considerable value in itself. To which we add a steaming baked potato, crisp vegetables, hot wheat bread, our famous salad bar, an attentive waiter, a charming hostess, the comfortable chair, soft lighting, and a manager standing by should there be anything else you require. The Prime Rib Feast, something a little extra special from Steak and Ale.
Here's a look at Henderson. Remember, Wilkerson slapped him, looks like just under his eye there. It's been bothering him. He's blinking there quite a bit as he watches that free throw go up. But Indiana needs him in the lineup defensively and offensively. And you see Henderson coming back in. He'll be joined by Graham, Evans, Leary, and Bailey. So Indiana's got experience in there. 3 seniors, a junior. Evans, the sophomore. There's the free throws. Look at Northwestern, 27 of 35. Very impressive. And Cedric Nellums is shooting his 19th free throw of the game. He's got it to give Northwestern the 1-point lead. 1 minute left. Indiana trails by 1. Leary, Bailey looking inside. He's got it. Can he get up? He has trouble. He does. 1-on-4, and Bailey gets the shot away. 46 seconds left.
Unbelievable how he was able to get that shot up in there. Kevin Rankin all over him inside, but Damon Bailey able to time it and get it up.
Shot is blocked by Henderson. Leary has it. And a foul by Nellums. After the game, stop by your neighborhood 76 station for quality 76 gasolines or convenience items. 33 seconds left. Indiana takes the lead on Bailey's jump shot right under the basket. Northwestern fouls, and Todd Leary goes to the line.
They weren't called for a foul. It looked like he got slapped pretty good as he went up for that shot.
Evans. Bailey comes over to chat with Bob Knight. There you see Leary.
Back there, too. Right, smooth. Real smooth. They must have fixed this road.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest lasting.
Why does it taste of Gino's Pizza a winner? The irresistible taste of pizza in this hot little bite-sized snack. Gino's Pizza? Wait a second. Totino's Pizza Rolls. The same zesty pizza taste now from Totino.
It was a 1-and-1. That was the 9th foul by Northwestern. So also good. Indiana now leads by 3. 33 in this situation. Will just go and play without the timeout. Here's Rankin. Scramble. Graham fights for it. Leslie knocks it out. Indiana will have possession.
Well, now
by Larry. Northwestern will go for the steal, and then we'll have to foul. There's Baldwin. They chase Larry. Now it's Graham. Pass back to Bailey. And we're down to 7. Northwestern is not fouled, and here it is finally, as Kirkpatrick gets it. 4.5 seconds left.
Foul on Kirkpatrick.
The last 4.5 seconds in this game.
Tonight's game was brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance 76 dealers, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. And by Edie's Grand Ice Cream, America's finest premium ice cream, made in Indiana with Hoosier pride.
We're back. Indiana leads by 4 now at the 4.5-second mark, but Sean Morris in Northwestern really came here to play today, and they showed what they could do. Be sure to join us on our next telecast Wednesday, January 26th at 8 p.m. as Indiana takes on the Minnesota Golden Gophers right here on TTV4. And there you see Damon Bailey, who made that incredible 1-on-4 shot to give Indiana the lead here late. But Sean Morris, Northwestern's got to be pleased with the way they played today.
Well, they came out and they played extremely hard. There's still 4.5 seconds here. A couple of critical times when they weren't able to convert offensively, but their effort was just outstanding. I think the important thing to remember is that even though they're going to probably walk out of here with an L at this point, Coach Ricky Birdsong will say they played a hard game, but he is not going to be pleased with the outcome because they came here to win.
Todd Leslie gets a shot at the buzzer. It's off. And that is the final score, 81-76. The two coaches meet at center court. A good showing by Ricky Birdsong and his Northwestern Wildcats. And don't forget, Indiana's got to travel to Evanston later on. There's the final score, Indiana 81, Northwestern 76. The executive producer for Raycom Sports is Peter Rolfe. Senior coordinating producer, Johnny Tyus. The telecast of tonight's game has been produced by Peter O'Brien, directed by Jerry Wheatley. Technical director, Gary Joe Rice, and our associate director, Joe Goodrich. This has been a copyrighted presentation of the Big Ten Conference.